Happy hangover, fangirls and fanboys. It's the day after St. Patty's, and we're so glad you're here with us. It's an awesome week for weed nights. Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion launched a ridiculously successful Kickstarter campaign that guarantees us, well, lots of Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion in space. Meanwhile, in Texas, South by Southwest attendees looking for a good time connected with a mysterious and kind of invasive Tinder user named Ava. We'll talk about her. Plus, DC cancels a controversial Batgirl cover, The Rock gets his T-Swift on, we watch a trailer for Home, and we play some Netflix Roulette, Kristen's favorite game. Commencing Fan Cave.
Man. Netflix, I saw that on our thing, and I was like, dang it, why did I agree to that?
Yeah, you can't escape it forever. It's
okay.
It's
Duncan
a thing
will
that
be
has
happy,
to happen.
so
Duncan
you're
will be
welcome,
happy.
Duncan.
Yeah. In order to make it worth her while, everybody better participate. And it can't just be us watching this movie.
I mean, now that I understand the rules, I didn't watch it beforehand, so I think we'll be okay.
Indeed. So, before we get started, it's the day after St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes,
everybody.
you as well.
Yeah, it was, Did
you do anything fun?
I didn't do, anything crazy or anything like that. I love St. Patrick's Day, but it's finals week. So I couldn't get any of my cohort to actually do anything with me. So I called up Mac, and we went down to the local pub called Dargan's, and people watched a little bit. As soon as we pulled up, there was I don't even know what you call this. It's like a limo van.
Oh, like those party buses kind
of? But
of?
it was not even it was enormous. It was just an out-of-control party bus type thing, and it pulls up with all these very Santa Barbara rich blonde girls in it, and weird dance music playing in it, off-brand generic dance music like you see in a movie when they have a party bus. You're this is not real, nobody listens to this. And so they immediately open up the door, and you hear just one of them go, excuse me, could you take a picture for us? And this guy's heck yeah, and climbs into the van,
sure.
Give me all the phones. I'll just give me an hour. We're gonna have a shoot. It's great. And so that was immediately what we were welcomed by, and but it was fun, and we just hung out there for an hour, and then I watched his roommate play Last of Us, the video game, for a while after that. So it was a very low key St. Patrick's Day.
There you go.
How about you?
Yeah, me too. I actually had to work, so I did get some fish and chips for dinner. I ended up having that because I'm not a bit. I mean, well, yeah, because I like fish and chips. So anyway, I had that. I don't know how Irish that is, but
no, super Irish. This is one
super
thing
Irish.
We do actually get right. Although I guess maybe it's just sort of everyone over there, because British people do it too. But
yeah, that's why I wasn't sure if it was more of a anyway.
But I
had that, which was fun. But then I was hanging out with some students, and we decided to make Shamrock Shakes. So we just got the green mint stuff from Smart and Final and vanilla ice cream.
Nice.
And so we made Shamrock Shakes and watched Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Such a classic.
You guys, this movie. So my friend Karina, my best friend Karina growing up, she loved this movie because she was so in love with Sean Connery. It was kind of getting to a weird point.
Yeah.
And so we would watch it all. And I mean, I liked it, obviously. I loved it. I thought it was fun. And, he sings that song and you just melt into a million pieces.
She's my dear, my darling, when her eyes are sparkling full of fun.
And he's cutting the grass and you're I don't know what's happening right now. What are these feelings I'm having? And so I'm telling the kids, I'm we're going to watch Darby O'Gill and the Little People. And these, now mind you, these are 18, 19-year-old kids. And they're what? None of them have even heard of it.
What?
Okay? The two guys that I lead this group with, neither of them had heard of it. Okay?
Man.
Nobody had heard. So I'm starting to feel, and this happens a lot on my staff. I always feel like I'm on an island. No one understands any of my references. I mean, I'm constantly it's in this. And I'm I want my $2. Nobody gets me.
Oh, that's
And so it's really hard. My life is hard, you guys.
It is.
First world problem.
Struggle.
The struggle is real. And so I'm just completely demoralized by this. So I text my friend, Tim, because he always has seen everything. He is up there with me. So I text him. I was hey, please tell me you've heard of or seen Darby O'Gill and the Little People. And he goes, that's Kara, his wife. That's her favorite movie growing up. And so then the next thing I know, Kara's texting me. She's like, you're watching Darby. Okay, so then I was like, thank you. There's justice in this world. And then I was a little worried because, I mean, it's like, from 1959 or something. Yeah. And it's one
of
those
Disney super movies. Old. Sean Connery is so young.
He is so young. It's just wonderful. These girls that I was watching it with were just melting when they were like running and chasing each other in that one scene, remember? Gosh. And then and they're like, oh my, I mean, they were just dying. And when he was singing one of the girls literally fell out of her chair.
Good. That is the proper reaction.
That is the proper, and so it ending up okay because they all loved it. Like, can we watch this every year? The boys were like, this movie was terrible. We never want to watch it again. I'm like, whatever.
Okay, well, that's...
Yeah, so it ended up being really fun. Yeah. Really fun. So they were stoked. And apparently I make a really good shamrock shake. I don't want to brag.
That's a plus. I mean, I think I've told the story before of my, like, miserable shamrock shake experience. And so that actually sounds like there's a part of me that has this very visceral, like, oh God, no, not a shamrock shake reaction. But then that sounds like a real legit milkshake.
Yeah, it is. It was just, I mean, yeah, we just called it that because we added the mint.
It's great. Yeah.
We didn't even buy mint chocolate chip ice cream. We were like legit. Yeah. We're buying vanilla and mint. We're going all the way. And then we ended up putting in Hershey's chocolate kisses because some people wanted chocolate chip.
Oh, clever. That's way better. That sounds better than like chocolate
it was really
chips
good.
Anyway.
And we had whipped cream and green sprinkles. So basically, I'm working at McDonald's. Yeah. So McDonald's.
I don't want to brag, but I basically work at McDonald's.
If you want someone to show you how it's done.
Yeah. No, that sounds better because I hate ice cream chocolate chips. Like those weird slivers and they just get stuck between your teeth and like
shavings.
Yeah, they're shavings and then you just like sit there and you have to like kind of lick at it until it essentially melts out of your mouth and it's just I don't like that, but Hershey's Kisses are the best. Like when you make brownies that have the Hershey's Kisses in them.
Oh yeah. And then it was good because there was some chunk because we like just you like mixed it real quick, so they were like really big chunks and like smaller one. It was pretty good.
Magical. So I'm jealous of that evening.
So it was a pretty good night. Pretty good. Pretty good.
But it's a weekday for St. Patrick's Day, so it's always going to be a little subdued.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I'm like, what am I going to do? Go on a bender? I got to be at work tomorrow.
And it was really confusing for me all weekend. People kept on posting like St. Patrick's, like Happy St. Patrick's Day, and they're like out partying and whatnot. I'm like, it is not St. Patrick's Day. You don't get to cheat.
People have their parties the weekend before. I guess that makes sense. It's like Halloween or something.
I don't know. To me, that just there's something sacred that's being violated. No, you will party on Tuesday, or that's you will not
Christmas
party
early.
Yeah, right. I mean,
or Thanksgiving.
You just can't do it.
Or 4th of July.
Yeah.
4th of July.
We're just gonna name every single holiday that you celebrate. It's like having
it's like Veterans Day
on a different day. Yes.
It's like MLK Day.
So how many holidays does Kristen know? Game. It's like having Arbor Day.
Boxing Day.
Is Boxing Day like a holiday here?
No,
I don't.
It's a Canada one, isn't it?
That's what I think.
Yeah, but it's always on my calendar, which is weird. Like the ones that you buy at the store. Yeah,
that's why I'm always confused. I'm like, do we have one? Is it relevant to us? Is it like I don't know what it is. So as a result,
Mother's Day, Grandmother's Day.
Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day. Oh, happy Mother's Day to everyone in the UK, by the way. It was Mother's Day for you the other day.
Actually, I did notice that because I follow Mike Mulcher on Instagram, and he posted the most adorable picture of him and his mom, and he was dressed in like a robot suit, and I was like, oh my
yeah, it was the best thing I've ever seen.
If I couldn't think you could be more endearing.
Yeah. If you recall, this endearing human is from 2000 AD. You can go back and watch him on the show. I don't remember what episode number it was, but he's wonderful. Yeah. And yeah, the picture he Instagrammed of him in this, like I actually wore a similar robot costume in a short film that I was in once, but it's not as cute when you're 22 as it is when you're like tiny. And it's just like boxes, like covered in foil. And he's like, you can tell he's so small inside of it.
It's really cute.
It's wonderful. Go look up Mulcher on Instagram, MOLCHER, and you can enjoy how wonderful that picture is. So happy Mother's Day. To all of you out there, American people, you can just have 2 Mother's Day if you want to pretend this is yours as well.
There you go.
I'm not mad at you. If I were a mom, I would want to be celebrated all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. That reminds me, speaking of being a mom, I found a kid in my yard yesterday. Yeah.
Like a live kid?
Like a live child. I was in my room, and I'm sitting there, and I hear like, what sounds like my gate shaking. You know, I was like, what in the world? And I, like, ignore it, because sometimes, like, you know...
The wind or something, right?
Yeah, it's the wind, or the neighbors are throwing a ball around and it hits it. But I was like, this is happening kind of a lot. And so then I, like, walk out, and I can hear, like, a child just sort of babbling. And I'm like, what is going on? And I open up the gate, and there's, like, a kid just, like, standing there, and his mumbling something about the bunny. I have a rabbit in my backyard, and he is, like, just talking about the bunny, but it's kind of unintelligible because he's a little kid, you know. So,
how little? Like, bunny. 3?
Yeah, I'd say, like, 3.
Where's his mom?
I guess she lived across, like, the complex, and so, but, like, out of our quad. So it's, like, there's, like, our quad, and then there's, like, a little, like, sidewalk thing, and then that's where they lived. And so he had just sort of wandered over, and he managed to open the gate so that he could get in, but then he couldn't get himself back out again. And so I was like, there's a child. I don't know what to do.
Where do you hail from?
Yeah. Where's your home? I don't know.
Go to your home. Are you too good for your home?
It was so confusing. I was like, oh, you like bunnies? And then I felt weird and creepy.
Like, what do little kids like?
Yeah.
Come to my van. I've got more. I mean,
candy? Do you like candy? Like, that I feel creepy in my own backyard because I'm talking to a child I don't know.
Trespasser. Yeah. The cops.
Like, why do I feel bad about this? You know. Yeah, but his mother came and she was like, "Oh, sorry about that." I was like, "That's okay. You can have it now.
Yeah,
take this back." Him. He. His name was Llewellyn.
Was it?
Yeah. Llewellyn.
No, it wasn't.
It was. Yeah.
That poor kid.
That's his name. She called him Lou. L-A-W. His brother's name was Granite. Like the stone.
Like the rock?
Yeah. Rock.
Granite and Llewellyn?
Yeah, it's not thematically based, the family, you know? That's
it's not...
Like, we're all, like in my family, we're all, like, Irish names, you know? We all have that going on, but
I'm not even gonna try to understand what's happening there.
No. It's 2015, you know?
Anyway.
People just throw names out there.
Apparently.
Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion have a Kickstarter.
Yeah, and they're adorable.
They are adorable.
It's going to be pretty cool. We were so excited when we popped up, like, what day was this? Like, Thursday or Wednesday of last week? It was right after we'd recorded.
I think it was literally the same day. Yeah, so it was like Tuesday or whatever. Yeah,
whatever day we ended up recording last week. And it was right afterwards, and I was like, oh, sweet, of course, right after. We'll talk about this next week. Yeah. And then within, like,
it was like 30 minutes, or an hour they made their
they'd
goal.
Already made their goals. So we're starting a Kickstarter for a show about them in space, essentially. So another kind of comedy space show. This one's actually a comedy, right? Wasn't it?
Yes, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know do we qualify? Would Firefly be a comedy?
I think
drama.
It is. It's a dramedy, I guess. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I guess what is Buffy the Vampire Slayer even? Like, it's a drama.
I don't know. It's a drama, but it's like there's funny ones. Anyway,
yeah, so, it's funny, but people die.
Yeah. It's also heart-wrenching and soul-crushing.
Exactly.
It's also,
I don't know if that's what this is. I feel like this is more
Me neither. I think this might be more funny-ish. But they're bringing back almost the entire crew, sounds like, from Firefly is going to be guest starring in it. And, it seems cool. So I don't know when we can expect any of that. I think they were more shocked that they probably met their goals so quickly. They were probably like, okay, guess we got to get going on.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like, it's a web series, and they're going to be 10-minute episodes, and they're like, their goal was less than $500,000, like $425,000 or something like that. And within an hour, that had been totally met, you know. And then now, like, I checked it today, it's at over $2 million. So they're like, well, we can make more episodes now. Like, Alan Tudyk put out a video, and he was basically like, so we can make more episodes, and then also there's stuff that we cut out of it for money. Like, there's, you know, someone being vacuumed out into space. Like, that's an expensive, you know, special effect. And he's like, now we can put that back in, and things like that. I will say, one of the rewards on the Kickstarter, this is so myopic. It's like, God bless them, they don't realize how huge they are, you know? And so one of them is like, oh, Alan will read the names of every person who donated. I'm like, what? No, that's a terrible idea. Like, that best case scenario, that's like a 5-hour video. This is you are going to regret the hell out of this. I mean, I guess if you look at it like you're reading an audiobook or something, maybe, but that just sounds like you'd want to, like, shoot yourself in the face.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd really want that. No. Maybe they could change it to something cooler. Can you not change it afterwards?
I don't know. I think it depends.
Hey, we were going to do this, but instead we're going to do this because there's way too many of you.
Yeah, because there's 80
We're going to list your name in the
people.
Credits or something instead, which I feel like you can kind of scroll through a little quicker.
Exactly. Although I did that once on a Kickstarter for a movie, and they forgot to put my name in the credits.
Yeah. Well,
so, it's not a foolproof system, but I will say that just sounds like a terrible idea. But as a result of this, so it's been about a week since they put up this Kickstarter. They're like posting update videos and just being really silly and being Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk and exactly what you would expect from them. So I am beyond stoked.
Me too. I think. Did they say when it's gonna be ready to go? Like,
I'm not sure if they gave an exact timeline or anything like that, but I don't know. And that's always the thing with Kickstarters. It's like you've basically forgotten about them by the time the thing is made.
They come out, and you're like, oh yeah.
I supported that a while ago.
I supported that. Well, then you'll just be stoked because.
Yeah. Did they already shoot episodes? I felt like that might have been the case, but maybe I made that up. When you're reading about a lot of things.
Yeah, and I wasn't reading that closely other than like, oh, space. Yeah. Nathan Fillion, cool.
Yeah, that sounds great. I feel like they might have, and so I don't know, maybe sometime in the near future. Don't quote me on that, people, for the record.
This is one of those things we're just kind of making up so we can sound like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I believe that they've shot three episodes in the can.
Technically, they've gotten the green light.
They are in post right now
to suck out people from space. I don't know.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that, and you can donate to it still. It's only a week into the campaign, so I'm very interested to see how far this Kickstarter gets. It's crazy. And it's funny. I'm so excited about this because a lot of times I get angry when celebrities do Kickstarters, but I think it depends because I feel like Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk, especially Alan Tudyk, he's kind of that guy in a lot of ways, and so it doesn't feel the same as someone who is an A-list star putting out something where you're like, this is pocket change to you. Why are you asking me for money? You just throw it out there and boom, make your movie. But there's something about this that I find charming and endearing, and and it makes it feel very collaborative in a lot of ways, which I guess is kind of the
point.
Goal. Yeah, it's to make you feel like you're a part of it. It's a way to, it's like marketing the movie while also getting investors at the same time. So I get why they do it. I do, but I don't know. I also wasn't that pissed off about the Veronica Mars movie. I was like, oh, that's fine. Do your thing. I think I just was mad that Zach Braff did it.
I knew that's who you were thinking of this whole time.
Yeah, it's probably mad that Zach Braff. Zach Braff and Amanda Palmer. Those are the two people. I'm just like, stop doing Kickstarters. Don't be a douche. Amanda Palmer is the one who's married to Neil Gaiman. She's kind of a terrible person.
Okay.
You don't need to know her. Just
Neil
pretend
Gaiman's
I never said anything.
Right?
Yeah. Neil Gaiman. Come on. Stardust? Stardust?
Oh, I love Stardust.
There we go.
I had that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. Oh my gosh.
So good.
That was
$1 theater fine for me.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Penelope and Stardust.
Penelope. You guys, if you haven't seen Penelope or Stardust, these are things you should really get on.
I actually think both are on Netflix.
They come and go. That's the thing. Penelope's on Amazon. That I know. Because it's one of those ones I'll put on in the background a lot. And,
me too.
James McAvoy
is just... His charm game is so on point.
Oh, on point.
And what's his face from Game of Thrones is so perfect.
Oh, Peter Dinklage.
Ah,
yes, I forget. He's
so good. I actually kind of do. So there's one part where he's on the phone with her, and he's like, okay, no, yeah, and he's like, just the way it's so funny, where he's like taking notes. Oh, because Nick Frost is in it, and it took me 7 years to realize it was Nick Frost. And he's interviewing him, and he's like, no, you know that one part, and he's like, okay, no. It's like, I don't know. There's just something about him that's so honest and fun. And,
no, he's great. The whole cast is just wonderful, and it has Richard E. Grant and Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara, who plays a great, crazy Kath. She just plays a frazzled mom so well.
I love the word frazzled. It should be used more. But if you haven't seen Penelope, it's great. Basically, it's Christina Ricci has a pig nose, and she's trying to. Yeah.
And Reese Witherspoon's randomly in it.
Yeah, Reese Witherspoon is randomly
She's like the
in
producer
it,
of it, and then she's like this random character that's really funny, actually.
Yeah.
It's actually one of my favorite Reese Witherspoon characters.
Yeah, and it's so, like, just out of nowhere. I love it. And so in this, it's like basically her parents are trying to marry her off to break this curse that has made her look this way. And as all these suitors come in, she eventually meets James McAvoy, and things happen.
And it's wonderful and heartwarming, and you'll love it, so you should see it.
Take our word for it. But
Anyway.
you don't have to take my word for it. But you do, though. You do.
But you should, because we're right. Most of the time. Anyway, what else we got going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's this new TV show coming out, guys. It's Lip Sync Battle.
Yeah.
Frankly, I was a little weary. I'm like, I mean, it's funny when Jimmy Fallon does it every once in a while.
It does, yeah.
You know,
I don't know,
'cause
yeah.
I feel like he handpicks the people pretty well, like who's going to do this bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we'll see. But, I mean, LL Cool J is hosting it, and I think we all know what I feel about LL Cool J. So
Kristen has an LL Cool J
that was promising.
thing. Kristen, can I tell you a quick story on that?
Yeah.
This is, I mean, it's not even a story. It's not even an anecdote. My professor for the class that I TA right now, her name is
knows LL
Jennifer
Cool J.
Holt.
Okay,
No,
go.
she doesn't know him. It's
it.
even better. She was telling us about, like, star quality, right? And, you know, when there's people who, like, they just have it, they exude star quality, and she's like, this is one of those things that sort of make or breaks people. Like, you can be super hot, but you don't have star quality. And then there's some people, you come in the room and they're like the sun, you know? Mm-hmm. And she was saying that, like, she was in LA, she works for Warner Brothers, she walked into an elevator and LL Cool J was in it, and she was like I couldn't handle the intensity of the star power coming off of LL Cool J. She was like in the elevator the entire time, like riding, and she kept just like glancing like, oh my god, like, oh
he's
my
got it,
God,
man. I believe it.
Yeah,
I probably would have just passed out.
Can you imagine? You just walk into the elevator and just like,
although I honestly probably would have like walked in, saw him, and turned and walked back. I'm sorry, I can't. You're too awesome.
No, this is too real. This is too real.
I'm gonna combust. I'm gonna be like, it would have been a Key and Peele situation where I'm like, LL Cool J.
LL Cool J is my shit.
And I'm like, star of the NBC drama NCIS Los Angeles.
I want this to happen so badly now.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
gosh,
LL Cool J is hosting Lip Sync
LL Cool
Battle.
J is hosting this show. And so it was a little weary. I'm like, we'll see. But there's this clip of The Rock lip syncing to Shake It Off. And it is delightful. I mean, obviously I love The Rock, so maybe this is just all my favorite things are happening at once. And so that sounds like something I'm really
It's all happening. Oh,
it's all happening together. It's the perfect storm of awesomeness. And he's doing Shake It Off, and it is just delightful. And he's just like doing the thing, and he does this like, it's just so good, you guys. You have to watch it.
Yeah, the thing, he's so high energy, and he's selling it
about everything.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just, the fact, someone of that size moving like that is just going to be, like, crazy to watch in the first place. It's just like, you have so much body.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere.
Well, and here's the thing, his daughter is, like, a teenager. Mm-hmm. So you know he's heard that song a zillion times. Mm-hmm. And she's obviously hiding under her bed at home, completely mortified. Her dad's probably doing this, but...
Yeah, I'm just imagining.
It's like he just reminds me of those dads who like sing it and are like so awesome. I'm like, because he's been listening to it for the past 8 months or whatever it's been.
You know that like the daughter is like, yeah, this is really funny for all of you watching on TV. Not funny when he did this at my sleepover a couple weeks ago.
Not funny when he comes out and he's like.
Yeah, that's
it's like the Omeleteville sketch, and he's like, "Did somebody save music?"
Exactly. That is it's a funny thing to think about.
Looks like it might be pretty funny.
Yeah,
and they've got some big people on it: Anna Kendrick and J-Lo. It's not like Dancing with the Stars, where it's stars where you're like stars. It's like actual.
This is the funny thing is there are, I think it's like Celebrity Game Night is basically what started this, but like these shows that keep coming out, some successfully and some less so. Like there was one that was sort of, I'm not even sure what it was. It was kind of like a Whose Line Is It Anyway type thing, but that came out, that was I feel like Steve Carell might have been at the head of it and things like that. And so it had all kinds of crazy stars on that. And then this, like, real celebrities are getting into it. It's almost like celebrities are realizing this is like a really easy project. Like, this doesn't take a whole lot. I don't have to, put a lot of money into it or whatever. People are just going to invest in it. The networks want something like this. And it's like, I just get to hang out with my friends and do silly, goofy things. And it's so good for your image to do stuff that, like, is kind of embarrassing like that. Like, when we see The Rock doing this, all of a sudden it's like, dude, I want to hang out with him, and I will go see whatever he's in. Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Get off the
that should be clear.
Bandwagoners.
But they want you to bandwagon as Furious 7 comes out. Which stupid people in Texas got to see.
I know, and apparently there's a video out there of Vin Diesel doing, like, a tribute to Paul Walker, which I refuse to watch.
Yeah, I was going back and forth. I saw the link, and I was, like, hovering.
I was just going to start crying thinking about it. I'm like, nope, I can't do that.
Yeah, I was hovering over, and I was like, should I not? I'm going to have to wait until, like, the proper moment.
When I'm, like, don't have anything to do the rest of the day.
Yeah, where I can just be inconsolable. But it's not fair that South by Southwest got to see this, and, like, a surprise thing. What about us? What
about us who own all of DVDs?
Mm-hmm. All the Blu-rays. Let's be real. Let's talk about this. I mean,
who got the pack on Amazon?
Yep. I got the pack on Amazon after already having bought two of them on Blu-ray.
Who watch it, even though you have it on Blu-ray, you still watch it when it's on TV.
Oh, I've watched Fast 5 like 4 times in the past 3 weeks. Because they're now playing it on USA.
I feel like the only one that I don't even have, well, that's usually when I'm at my parents' house is when I do this, but I feel like the only one that's ever on is Too Fast, Too Furious. That is legit the only one that I ever catch. I'm like, well, I'm going to watch this one again.
Yeah, well, I found...
Oh, Roman.
It's Fast 5 and Too Fast, Too Furious for me, and both of them are also always on, both on, like, an English channel and in a Spanish channel. So at any given point, you can watch...
You can watch it.
Fast and Furious in some language. And I do. I watch it constantly.
Coming up fast.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm not ready.
You're like 2 weeks.
I know. I'm
not ready.
Crazy. I can't believe it's also almost April. That's just...
Yeah. That's not even... It's
unconscionable. Let's not talk about it. Let's talk about this. Since we're talking about South by Southwest, let's talk about Ava.
Yeah.
This
creeped me out. I was a little creeped out by this.
I'm simultaneously creeped out, and also I think this is brilliant. There is a movie coming out called Ex Machina, and as a promotion for this, essentially, they created a Tinder of a woman named Ava. She's, like, super cute, all that kind of stuff. She looks like someone you'd be into. She's hip, and it says in her profile that she's, like, in town for South by Southwest, wants to hang, whatever. So dudes then are, matching with Ava, but Ava is not actually real. She's a robot, I guess, in this film. And so in the chats, it's like people start talking to her, and she's very formal and robotic, So her questions, she's not... So, like, here's one. It says, a guy says, swiping in Austin also I see. She says, hello, Brock. I'd like to get to know you. May I ask you a few questions? Absolutely. Have you ever been in love? Okay. Once, I think, but that was a while ago. I see. I haven't, although it sounds nice. What makes you human? What makes me human? Let's see, my beating heart and these weird feelings. I like this answer. What attracts you to me? I just thought you were absolutely gorgeous and you have innocence, but we all know I can be totally wrong. Thank you, Brock. That's very kind of you. Last question. If you could meet me anywhere, where would you choose? Considering we're both in Austin now, I'd have to say Austin. And she says, you're clever. You've passed my test. Take a look at my Instagram and let me know if I've passed yours. At Meet Ava. And so then when you go to this this Instagram, you realize that she is not actually a person, but this robot from this film. So, I mean, it's just, like, Tinder in and of itself is such a weird little ecosystem, and the conversations that happen on it are are interesting and often disturbing, sometimes really funny. You see all these roundups of lists and things like that of, like, the best conversations on Tinder, the worst conversations on Tinder. And it's so weird to have this little universe, and I guess this is what online dating and stuff is like anyway, but where you don't know people and you're just sort of, like, starting a conversation in midair. That's my nightmare, but, you know, this is, you know, what it is. And so it's interesting to see something that, like, it's talking so formally, so robotically. All the cues are there for you to be like, this doesn't feel right. And yet, you know, people just go with it. Like, if someone randomly messaged me and was like, oh, so, have you ever been in love? I'd be like, who? What? Why? Who are you? Like, what is going on? And yet, they're so quick to answer her questions. And to answer, I think one of the interesting things, too, is seeing people's answers to, like, what makes you human. You know, like, that's some deep stuff right there, which is clearly what they're getting at with this whole thing. So, it is creepy, but it's also, I don't know, I just think Tinder is so rife for, like, cool experiments with people. Yeah, with people. It's a weird little zone.
And I've never used it, so I don't really know what it's about.
I mean,
I know you swipe and stuff, and there's people on it, and you go on dates. My roommate went on a Tinder date, and she said it was terrible. I'm like, yeah, I feel like it would be, but I don't know. Maybe there's some nice people on it.
No, I've known people who have, like, actually met.
I mean, she's nice, so
people. Yeah, right. It's like, if you know people on Tinder, presumably if your friends are nice and they're on there,
so there must be other nice people on it. But yeah, the guy, it was like the weirdest. Yeah, it was weird. Anyway,
and there's a great there is a great Instagram called By Felipe. And it's like, you know, like By Felicia, but it's By Felipe. And it's basically people, like, talking to, like, nightmarishly terrible men on like, Tinder and OkCupid and things like that. I don't know, it's just, that whole world is just crazy to me. It's like, you know, people are just out there. Well, in Tinder, I think, because it's, like, largely a hookup app, too, more than it is a relationship app. So, but on all of those things, it's just, like, if you're trying to get a date and everything, I can see why this just feels futile. Like, just like, sucky. And then you find a girl who seems cool, and it turns out she's a robot. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time. Yeah, that is rough. It's a hard knock life in Austin. So, sorry, people at South by Southwest, but, you know, that happened. Yeah. It did make me confused, that's not what I meant. Curious, though. So, like, this movie that I had no interest in, all of a sudden I'm like, maybe I could check that out. Yeah. Kudos to whoever came up with that as a marketing campaign.
Brava!
Mm-hmm. I'm impressed. But another weird thing that happened this week was that DC came out with a ill-conceived Batgirl cover that exploded the internet.
The interwebs.
Yeah, so essentially, I don't know if
anybody saw this. It was a Joker standing behind Batgirl, and he's, you know, doing his creepy smile, and his, like, face is half in shadow, and he's kind of, I couldn't actually tell if he'd cut her or if he had just drawn the red on her face. I'm
assuming it was drawn, but I don't know.
And so she looks like, I mean, she is, like, looking scared out of her mind, and he's got this red. I'm sure we'll link to it on the blog, so you can take a look if you haven't seen it. But yeah, it kind of gives you the heebies. You look at it, you're like,
yeah, it's very assaulty.
That's very creepy and it's icky.
Yeah, and it's a variant cover. It's not like the normal cover of this thing.
And so there was this, you know, like I say, I don't want to call it an outcry. Maybe we should. But people were upset with it, and so the artist and DC both released a statement like, oh, you know, because of, you know, yada, 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 we're pulling the cover, we're not going to use it. And everyone's like, oh, that's so great. And then someone because DC had said, like, oh, because threats of violence, you know, are just shouldn't be tolerated, whatever. And you're like, oh, wow, okay.
Wow, people are really upset over this.
We're really upset over it, you know? And I'm like, which is funny, because I was like, people were upset because it was too violent against that girl. So I'm like, that seems weird, but okay. Yeah. And so they'd release these statements, and then, like, soon after, I don't even remember who it was, someone from DC, I think, or someone released a statement saying, just to be clear, the threats of violence were not against the artist or DC. It was against people who criticized the cover.
Right.
Those people were the ones who were being threatened. And you're like,
what? Yeah. because this is the, there's this whole conversation that was then happening about, like, oh, censorship and, like, all the, the derogatory term everyone uses, the SJWs, the social justice warriors. Just dumb and internet-y, but whatever. So, they're like, oh, SJWs ruined everything, they're calling for censorship and everything. And, like, the artist and DC are like, we didn't want to put this cover out in the first place. Everyone thought this was a bad idea. Yeah. I don't know how it got out there. This is the other thing. I'm like, what editorial process do they have that this was even, like, coming out when it seems like nobody wanted to put out this cover? Like, everyone's like, because, I mean, the problem here is not, the cover is actually cool. Like, it's a rad piece, it is terrifying and things like that, but it's a cool cover and the art is great. It's really, like, deep and emotional and twisty. But, like, Batgirl, the comic, apparently, tonally does not match this. And it's a comic that is largely geared towards, like, a younger audience. And so, it wasn't really appropriate for something that they're expecting, like, 13, 14, 15-year-old girls to go out and read,
Yeah.
And so something aimed at that demographic shouldn't be, like, Watchmen, And so this was, like, I think overall within DC, they were like, yeah, this is not appropriate. We're not going to use this. Okay, fine. Somehow it ended up being, it didn't even get released. So it's pulled before it was even released. It's, out there as what was going to be a variant. And then,
but then it's
like,
on
nope.
the internet. So then it's...
Yeah, which means, like, hang it on your wall if you're upset about it, Like, if you love this cover so much, hang it on your wall. But this was the problem, is that then DC, as you said, released this statement that was like, threats of violence are never good and all that kind of stuff.
Should not be tolerated.
And it made it seem like the people who, disliked this cover were, being threatening and stuff like that. And it was just like, it was so royally botched for them to release the statement like that. Whereas the artist's statement was very clear about what had happened here.
When he didn't even mention any kind of threats of violence either.
Yeah.
He had just said, like, hey, we agreed this was bad, that's happening. Great. So honestly, if it had ended there, if DC just hadn't released a statement, it probably would have been better.
It would have been nothing.
But now it's turned into, like, a thing. And you're like...
Exactly. And it just gives people, like, the sort of trolling people fodder to be like, oh, see, all the SJWs out there, plotting violence, and they're just as hateful, and they just want to censor everything. Like, that's not what happened. It wasn't really the people who wanted to censor it. It was DC. It was the artists. They were the ones who were like, we cannot do this. And it's just, I mean, it's such a... This is my thing, is, like, I just don't get people who, when something they like is threatened, they immediately go to, like, violence or, like, I don't know, these weird panic modes. I was thinking about this morning too, because I was reading something about, like, a high school sports team that was called the Redskins, and the, like, board or whatever voted, and they were like, all right, that's not our mascot anymore. And then all these, like, 50, 60-year-old dudes were like, we should stop funding the schools as a result, and, like, all these kinds of things like that. And I'm like, I just think about it, I'm like, okay, let's just be reasonable about this. Something you like, like, it's just, that's it. It's not your identity, nothing like that. It's just a thing you like. Like, I was on a team, it was called the Redskins. I liked being the Redskins. That shouldn't really be something that, like, when it's taken away, you, like, then start trying to, like, punish everyone around you for it. That is a ridiculous, childish response.
Yeah, I mean, Kellogg stopped making Rice Krispies treats cereal.
Exactly. Like, now do I go and...
I did not boycotting everything that Kellogg's made.
Yeah. And, like, trying to sabotage them,
Yeah,
I didn't be like,
Girl Scout cookies aren't called Samoas. They changed them because they changed cookie companies. Well, I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy their caramel delights. You can bet your ass on that. Take that to the bank. I'm like, no, I'm still going to buy them because they're delicious and I love them. Yeah. And I'll probably still call them Samoas because I always forget that they're not called that anymore. Because for 20 years they were called Samoas. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's one of those things where I'm like, it's not like, I don't know. I mean, things come and go. We have, I don't know. It makes no sense. I don't know. Like, okay. I mean, I get upset about it for a little bit. Like when my favorite company they discontinue a color I really liked in my eyeshadow. I'm like, oh man, why? And you're like, you stock up until so you stock up on your stuff and then you move on.
Right. That's exactly how I feel about this whole thing. So, yeah, that's my message to people, really. It's like, you liking something, like, that's fine. Nobody's taking from you that you like it. Hang up your Redskins Letterman jacket on your wall if you want, and, print out that photo.
Before they switch over to the Seagulls.
Yeah, and wax poetic on your football days. And then, like, print out your Joker variant cover for Batgirl and, like, put it on your wall and, like, put it on your website, whatever. It doesn't need to go to the point where then you're just like, let's threaten everybody who disagrees with me. You're ruining my life because I like that and you don't.
Yeah, and I'm like, like I just said, nobody in all my friends at work, no one understands any of the things that I like. Yeah. Nobody knows any of the movies. I don't hate them all.
Right.
I just sit by myself and laugh at jokes that I think are funny, and everyone thinks I'm the crazy girl at work, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. We just get so attached for some reason, and we think that, like, it's like a personal offense on us that you don't like what I like.
Right.
And it's you must hate me as a person. I'm like, I don't think anything of you. Person that liked this cover. I don't even know you.
And it takes on this, I mean, I guess sort of what I was saying earlier about identity, right? So people start to take on things they like as an identity. And they don't realize, like, okay, so your identity as a fan of covers that push the envelope, right, is not the same thing, does not carry the same gravity as someone's identity as, like, someone who was raped. And that this is, like, offensive for, as, like, a teenage girl, or, like, so, with, like, a Redskins controversy or something like that. The way I kind of look at these kinds of things is, okay, your team mascot is the Redskins. You love it. It's great. You think it's not offensive or whatever. Would you then walk around your high school and call all of the Native Americans there Redskins? Or would you be like, oh, I feel like that's not okay. I feel like they don't like that. So your identity as a fan of the thing called Redskins doesn't trump the fact that that is something that's racist towards all the people you come in contact with who are actually Native American. And so it's like taking on an identity from things that you like and trying to push that against people who actually, like, have identities that are invested in these things, that they can't just, like, buy up or things like that or shed. It is who they are on this intrinsic level. And so, I mean, I think that's kind of what a lot of this, like, push back and forth is like things people like that they've taken on as an identity versus people who have identities that are, inherent or, like, thrust upon them and they can't escape them,
Yeah.
So it's just, be nice, people. It's really what it comes down to. Like, just, I've said it before, treat people as humans.
I think we need to, this is a bigger, I don't even know if I want to get into this. I'll say it anyway. It's like a final thought on this. Mm-hmm. I think people need to be careful in what they're putting their identity in.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting your identity in a Batgirl cover? Like, I don't know. I feel like, I'm trying not to be, like, overly, like, that's dumb, Mm-hmm. But I just think there are things, I don't know. I don't know what I'm even trying to say.
No, I think that's, I get where you're going with it, because that is an important way of looking, I mean, and that's what I'm saying sort of with my comparison of these things.
With your comparison is like, think about the things you're putting your identity in. Why are those the things that are fulfilling you? Are you looking for something? What are you looking for in life?
Right.
That's what you decide to put your identity in.
Yeah. And some then,
people, anyway.
No, I was just thinking, and then on top, like, when you have things like, okay, if your identity is that, like, I'm a fan of these things, fine, that's cool, that fulfills you, whatever, that's okay. But then at that point, I mean, do you get to the point of fanaticism that is like, I'm a fan of this thing, it is my identity, to the point where I will hurt or threaten to hurt other people? And, like, is there anything that you should love or identify with so much that you would hurt another human being?
Be violent against. And
I have not found that thing.
I guess that's more what I'm trying to say is it's like there's something about it that you put so much, you're invested so much in, that you're going to kill over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to murder someone because they don't agree with you. I don't know.
Exactly.
We're obviously, no.
So that's that. That's our...
I have, like, lots of half-formed thoughts about what we're talking about, so we should move on, because I don't have anything coherent to really share on that. So,
how strange, how unusual that we don't have fully formed thoughts about the things that we're talking about. This is so weird. We're, like, usually pretty eloquent. We get worked up a little bit over when people are jerks to each other. That's all. Like, let's all be happy and like things.
And when people I said that before, you know, it's like life's too short.
Yeah, life's too short. This is true.
So.
A happy thing, though.
Yes, let's talk about a happy thing.
Yeah,
Corey. You used to go.
Oh, there's a trailer for this movie called Home, and it's a Dreamworks movie, which are not usually my bag. But here's the
I love
thing,
How to
guys.
Train Your Dragon. So
I don't get How to Train Your Dragon.
I know,
but
you
I also
don't.
don't
I
like
love
dragons. Yeah. So this one is like sort of it's like a buddy comedy type thing with an alien and a. How old is this? Like,
I don't know. At first,
I thought she was a kid, but then she drives. So
yeah. So I think she's like 16 or 17, maybe.
Yeah, and
I think she's still a teenager.
That's what I'm guessing. And it's Jim Parsons is the voice of the alien, and Rihanna is the girl. And so it's like this sort of like ethnically ambiguous black girl as the lead in this, and it's sort of like these two sort of outcasty characters who come together, and he's being chased by his people and nobody likes him, and they come together and it looks adorable. But more importantly, I saw this picture, as Kristen pointed out the other day. I didn't even know what it was from. I just like retweeted this thing because I was like, this is amazing, of like a little black girl with like a fro and all this kind of stuff standing next to a cardboard standee of Home and the girl from Home, and it was like spitting image. They looked just alike, and like for me that was such a powerful thing to see, because I've never in my life like had a cartoon character or anything like from a major motion picture that I could stand next to and be like, look, that one looks like me. That's crazy. Like, I even complain, I like Princess and the Frog is great, I love it and all that kind of stuff, but somehow they managed to have a black character that has white hair. Like, she has this nice straight hair, and it's like it works perfectly, and it's all nice and up. And I'm like, no, where's the frizz? Where's the curls? Where's her fro? Like, this is not me. So even when they manage to try to represent these kinds of things, it's usually like they have to make some concession or whatever. And this girl in this just like she looks like me. She looks like, you know, other black girls, and that's so cool to have as the lead in a movie. And so I hope it just ends up being like super successful. It looks cute and funny. It's, you know, got absurd puns and things like that.
The dancing part in the car, I was like, oh, that's me. Like, for some reason the music makes the aliens like extremities like dance like to the beat, and he can't, for some reason, seems to not have any control over it, which I think is like genius.
Yeah,
so
that is
like,
amazing.
But he keeps trying to like stop them from moving, and he's like, I can't, and he just like starts dancing, and it's really funny.
It's a cute
It looks
ad.
cute, and her name is Tip, which I think could not have been a cuter name.
It is great.
So.
I'm gonna go by Tip now. I just think that's great. I just think there's gonna be like a whole lot of, you know, little black and African girls and, you know, ambiguous girls and things like that are gonna go see this, and they're gonna be like, I can dress up as this, and, you know, this could be my Halloween costume. And it's like simple too. She's wearing like jeans and like a sweatshirt essentially, you know, and I think that's fun to have something like finally to be able to like, you know, call our own, I guess. It's everybody's thing, but it's something that we look like, and that's so cool. So I hope that ends up, you know, getting a lot of play and people are into it. It's Jim Parsons. Everyone loves Jim Parsons. I mean, you know, and Rihanna sounds good in it too.
I was doing that thing where I was trying to listen for her, but I don't think I've heard her speak enough.
Yeah.
She has that accent.
Yeah.
Which
she's
didn't sound like
from
she
Barbados, right?
Yeah. So it didn't sound like she had an accent in the movie. So
she definitely had an accent.
Well, she did?
Yeah.
See, I don't feel like she said that much in the trailer.
Yeah, this is true. She had very little to say.
Anyway, I was trying to hear her voice. I'm like, no, I can't tell, because I don't think I've heard her speak enough to know what her voice sounds like.
Right.
Even like Jim Parsons, I was like, he even doesn't sound. I mean, because I just associate Jim Parsons with his Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, with Sheldon.
So I'm assuming he doesn't talk exactly like that. I mean, so some of that's got to be character. So I'm like, I don't even really know. He sounds like this could be different. Anyway, it was cool.
I know. I've seen him on like Craig Ferguson a couple times, and he doesn't entirely talk like Sheldon. In real life, he's got very he's very Southern. You know, she's got this very Southern way of talking that's
slow,
and it's entertaining to listen to, actually. And so this looks like I'm just excited about it. I'm stoked to see it. I don't know when it comes out yet, but But when it does, I'm totally going to go see that and support it and hope that it's a big thing. And then maybe cosplay as this girl.
As Tip. There you go.
At the very least, living room cosplay. You know, get my hair out all big.
My favorite kind.
Yeah, exactly. Low maintenance cosplay.
Low maintenance.
Well,
you guys, it seems we've come
it's that
to the Netflix roulette end of our program here. So I've got it open.
Oh, good. Great.
So just to make sure, we're just doing show movies.
Yep, just movies.
That's movies, right? We're not filtering it anyway, so just no TV shows.
Yeah, and then is there... I feel like there...
there's a result. You can do ratings.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure it's in English, but if it's not in English, we'll
spin it again.
We'll spin again.
Here we go.
All right.
Okay.
What is it?
Here we go. And the movie of the week is Barefoot.
Okay.
2014. So,
it's recent.
A new one. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh. Oh, jeez.
No, but a Felicity alum.
Yeah.
And Everwood alum.
Yep.
Here we go. Asked to treat a young psychiatric patient who's been living in utter isolation, a doctor from a wealthy family forms an unusual bond with her. Cast is Evan Rachel Wood, who I feel like she could be weird, but we'll see. Weird. Scott Speedman.
Yep.
Treat Williams.
Yes. Dr. Brown.
I don't know who Kate Burton is.
Kate Burton.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Oh, J.K. Simmons. You mean Academy Award winner J.K. Simmons?
I mean Academy Award winner J.K. Simmons. So this might not be bad.
No, it looks terrible. Look at that cover. This is... Ugh. It's so white. Like, it's just so much blonde and white. And,
but it's got Academy Award winner in it.
This is
How bad could it be?
Oh, here's the thing. J.K. Simmons, like, again, he's one of those people who's in everything. There's no, quality is not, like, the stamp of, like, this is a J.K. film, J.K. Simmons film.
Up until this past award season, he was one of those guys.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's, like, big time, but, yeah, I mean, he's always been big time. Everybody knows who he is. He's a big time that guy. But, yeah, so, you guys, this is what we're watching for you, so you should join us.
It's called Barefoot.
Yep.
2014, and Scott Speedman. I don't even last time I saw Scott Speedman in something.
He's just the other Scott. You know?
Yeah.
Scott Foley is the Scott.
Foley. Well, he's got his scandal thing going on, right?
Jake Ballard.
He's going there. And his name's Jake. Oh, God, such a good name.
It is. It is a good name. Ever since the 80s, that one's it's been working. It has been working.
All right, guys. So for better or for worse in the next week.
Yeah, so tweet us your responses. You can live tweet it at us if you want. And we'll see what you have to say about it. If you want to make us like a video response or something and post to YouTube, I will edit that in. You can be really mad at us for this. You can
I feel like you can't possibly be more mad than we were about Code Red Rubicon Conspiracy.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Although that was just, that's true. This could just be bad and boring. I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely a high risk of boring. There's definitely going to be cheese. It's going to be cheese factor.
It's a very different movie than our last one. So I like this because I would have been bummed if it was like a similar. This is very different. It's very different. A different kind of cheese. And I will say I was never bored during Code Red Rubicon Conspiracy.
No. Not at all. So we'll see what happens here. So Barefoot, everybody.
Barefoot. Let's
get on that. You have 1 week.
Yeah. Also, that title says nothing about what this movie is about.
Absolutely nothing. It gives you no clues.
Maybe the girl doesn't wear shoes.
Probably because that's quirky and mental illness-ish, right?
Yeah. I mean, totally.
Movie mental illness, always fun. So check that out, and we'll be back to discuss it next week. I'll be coming at you live from New Jersey.
I'll be coming at you live from California.
Woo! I'm so excited, Kristen. Next week, I get to see Finding Neverland on Broadway. It has Matthew Morrison and Kelsey Grammer. And the music is by Gary Barlow from Take That, and it's going to be so great. So great. I'm excited about this. I've never seen a Broadway show. So
Me neither.
Not on
tell
Broadway.
Me how it is.
Yeah. I've seen Broadway shows here, just not there. But
yeah, right.
it's exciting. So
cool.
Next week I'll come at you from there. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss seeing it, and I will tell you my scale of like crying. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard I
was a weeper for me. I weeped at the end.
That movie, I
cried pretty hard.
Yep, and it was like I don't know why. It's not that it's unexpected. Clearly, like bad things.
Yeah, clearly that was like, coming, but it's beautiful at the end how it happens. Yeah.
It's like the end of Big Fish, you know, where you're just like.
Actually, I haven't seen Big Fish.
What? Kristen?
Sorry, I know.
You need to see Big Fish.
Okay, I'll watch it.
You need to watch it. Yeah, make sure that happens. Or I'm gonna be upset.
I will.
But I will want like tissues. Just.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So many tissues like you've never tissued before. That's
great.
What I'm saying.
That's great.
Yeah, just be prepared for that. So, that's it for this week on the Fan Cave. I feel good about it. We love to hear from you. I've been trying to tweet more. Have you noticed?
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm not on that a lot. I'm sorry.
That's true, you're not. Okay, but I have
But
been.
I did know. I had like 12 notifications on Sunday.
Hey, see?
Like, not 12, it was like 5.
Do you know who followed us on Twitter?
No.
Johnny Whitworth from Empire Records.
What?
I know. I was like, what in the world is happening right now?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that was kind of exciting. I was like, got my phone, I was like, Johnny Whitworth. Johnny Whitworth? Not that one, right? Not AJ. So that's exciting. So I've been tweeting more. So follow us on Twitter, and you can get sort of a preview of some of the things that we talk about.
Yeah, sometimes I tweet too.
Yeah, sometimes Kristen tweets even.
It's exciting.
It is. It really is.
So you should check it all the time, just in case.
Check out Kristen's #ThisIsWhyI'mSingle series on Twitter.
I only have 2. I don't know if to call that a series.
Yeah, I feel like there should be more though, because those 2 were gold. They were very delightful.
What they were.
Something about your roommate doing sit-ups.
Oh yeah, and I got a breakfast burrito.
Exactly. Oh, I want a breakfast burrito.
And then someone mistook me for a wife. I just thought that was a jump. Because I feel like the first thing you say is, oh, would your girlfriend like one? But the guy's like, oh, would your wife like one? I'm like, first of all, that's very presumptuous of you.
It is. I don't.
And then I was like, okay.
It is a strange thing to say, but this happens like a lot of times when I'll be out with like male friends and stuff like that. That people.
Well, you have a ring on. I don't even have a ring on.
Yeah.
But so why are they thinking that?
Either way, I mean, it's just weird that people do that. You're like, I don't even know this person. I'm just standing in close proximity to them. Why do you think that I'm married to them?
I don't know. I'm like, yeah, he got in my car randomly, but that doesn't mean that I'm married to him.
Exactly. That's what the Kimmy Schmidt, the one captive woman on there, she's like, we're married now?
Yeah. He's like, no.
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
anyway, yeah. Thanks
so
for listening.
Us on Twitter, Facebook.
iTunes.
Catch us on
Stitcher.
iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, YouTube. Catch us on the blog on electricfeast.com.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
And
Rate and review us.
I'm Nerds Rocket on the Twitter. She's Kristen Lat. Kristen _ Lat. Kristen with an I, in case you didn't know. And you can enjoy these things. Watch Barefoot. Read all the light we cannot see. Is that right?
Yes.
My brain just short circuited.
All
the light we cannot see. That's happening.
Club.
And we will talk to you next week. So for now, I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
And I'm Kristen Latero.
Peace out, everybody.
Take it easy, guys.
Oh my god. It's like my brain is emptying out my nose right now.
It's so gross.
It is. I'm sorry.